magic Rotary. And when you look at all these articles, and Matt Kane's passing out some stuff about little hints on living longer, being healthier, and all that kind of stuff. So, but what's not on there is the hint of the article I read that shows people who volunteer, like us Rotarians, live years and years longer than people who don't volunteer. In other words, being out there, socializing, being with other people, helping other people, does an amazing amount for people's health. So this is what Chris is saying. Not only is there magic for us, there's magic for your body, magic for your mind, magic for everything else that helps with all this stuff. No talk that I ever give can go by without me talking about flu shots. There's 40,000 people a year that die in the United States that die of flu every year. Yeah, the flu shot's not out yet. When it comes out, you'll see, every drugstore will be advertising it. So it used to be that you could only get it at a doctor's office. Now you can get it on every corner. So there's no excuse not to get a flu shot. Flu shots now are for everyone, every age, everything else. People should get flu shots, so everybody should get a flu shot. Yes, it keeps you alive. Yes, it's good for you. Yes, it hurts your arm a little bit, but everybody should have it. So it's cheap, easy, keeps you alive, so everybody should get a flu shot. Moving on from the shots, since we're talking about shots right now, and feel free to ask questions. My favorite part of all this is your questions. Is people over 65 should have a pneumonia shot, and people over 60 should have a shingles shot. Pneumonia shot decreases the incidence of pneumonia 50%, so it's not 100%. The most common type, pneumococcal pneumonia, but it's worth getting. There's two types of pneumonia shots, a Prevnar and a Pneumovax. 1 year you get a Prevnar, a year later you get the Pneumovax, the other ones, then you're done with pneumonia shots. The shingles shot, that's one time you get it when you're over 60. It prevents shingles. Shingles is not so bad, but post-herpetic neuralgia, the pain people have after shingles is terrible for people over 60. Now, most of you, you have a long ways to go before you're 60, but when you do get to 60, yes, all of you should have a shingles shot. Yes, Chris?
When does the flu shot come out? Should we take it as soon as it's available?
Yeah, so take it as soon as it's available, and usually about this time it's already out. So I'm surprised it's not out yet, and usually I have it in my office that what our rep said is sometime the next couple of weeks it should be out. Okay, so no, it's not out yet. Yes?
Shingles shot does not prevent reoccurrence of shingles though.
Shingles shot does not prevent, it doesn't even prevent shingles. So, the thing that it best prevents is it does prevent some shingles, but it also, what it's best at is preventing the post-herpetic neuralgia, the pain people get after they have shingles. If you have shingles, so you have a rash for the week, who cares, and you move on. And just so you know what shingles is the chickenpox virus. So all of us when we were young, we had chickenpox. If we didn't have it, we were exposed to chickenpox. So all of us have the chickenpox virus in our system. It hides in a certain part of the spine, the dorsal ganglia of the spine. Then when you're under stress, when whatever else happens, it comes out, and it comes out in a rash across your body. The key to diagnosing shingles is it's always on one side of the body. So if you have a rash on both sides of the body, it's not shingles. If it's a rash on one side of the body, probably, and it's tingling and all this kind of stuff, it's probably shingles. So that's the key to diagnosing it, and there's medications we give to shorten the course and all that kind of stuff. But the main thing we worry about is the neuralgia afterwards. So you're right, it doesn't prevent it, but it prevents the pain afterwards, so that's the real reason.
Forever, that pain?
What's that?
How long does that pain last?
Years. It can last for years, the pain afterwards. So this is something that drives people crazy. It lasts forever in mature adults, and it can last a long time. So that can last. The other hot topic of the day is opioids, and the thing you hear about that on the news all the time. Now, when you look at drugs, okay, you look at deaths from drugs. The number one death for drugs, as all you know, is cigarettes. Cigarettes kill like 450,000 people a year. No drug in the United States is close to being deadly like cigarettes are. So if you think that we should be banning drugs, start with cigarettes, but I'm not for banning any drugs. So that's, you know, that's because I'm married to Jane Pinsky. So the liberals of the, you know, but so the next most lethal drug is alcohol. There's 45,000 people with that. Now, the opioid thing is an important thing. There's over 13,000 deaths from that, and there's essentially 0 deaths from marijuana. That should definitely be legalized. But anyways, the opioid thing is real. It is all over. It has nothing to do with how poor you are, how rich you are, how anything else you are. It's in every neighborhood, every home, every part of America. Now, the way you combat that is, especially in North Carolina now, you can go to any drugstore and you can get something called Narcan. Narcan's a great thing to have around if you know somebody who might, at some point in time, take a narcotic. It'll reverse the narcotic in no time. It'll keep the person alive. So it costs like $30, $40. It's worth having around in case your neighbor, your whatever else, might be, you think, needing something like that. Is a great thing to have around. And you can get it at any pharmacy. You don't need a prescription. Yes?
I just happened to see on the news, I think it was last night, could have been the night before, but Raleigh police are going to start carrying
Narcan. And you should, Narcan, yeah. And they should because it's cheap, easy. The faster you give it, the better it works and all this kind of stuff. So it should be, you know, and it doesn't last a long time. So the person still has to go to the ER, still has to get treatment and all that kind of stuff. But in the meanwhile, it keeps it alive and it reverses the narcotic in seconds. So it's amazing stuff, yes.
Is that oral or injection?
There's nasal, there's injectable, there's a spray. So there's all kinds of ways to give it.
What is it called?
Narcan, Narcan, Narcan. Okay, and you get it's legal in North Carolina. They passed a law, state legislature. One of the best things they did was pass a law saying that every pharmacy can hand it out without a prescription to everybody. Yes.
And isn't it true that you can't hurt someone?
Oh, yeah. So Eric, that's a great point. Yeah. So if you think that maybe this person's acting funny going downhill, by giving Narcan, you can't do any harm. So it can only help, it cannot do harm. So that's the good news of that. Now, what you'll hear from me every time I talk is about fruits, vegetables, exercise, and love. So the bottom line with what I've been, since 1978 or whatever, 75, that I've been a doctor, it's always been the same answer to every patient I ever see. The answer is fruits, vegetables, exercise, and love. That's what keeps people alive. That is not all these medications. It's not everything else. It's fruits, vegetables, exercise, and love. That's what you want to strive for. That's what's going to keep your family alive. That's what's going to keep you alive, smarter, better, everything else for doing it. Now, the other thing is about another topic that you'll see. All these are just helpful hints, and if you want, you can sign up. You go on our website. Jane puts on my website all kinds of hints, these things here. Also on Twitter, Jane does that for me, and so I've got the right person doing all this stuff. And so, but let me talk about back pain for a minute, because I read an unbelievable book on back pain. First of all, what you can do that's easy, everybody can do it for back pain, is when your back's hurting, you go on the ground, you put your feet, you're laying on the ground, you put your legs up on a chair, so you're bending your hip at 90 degrees, you're bending your knee at 90 degrees, you're just laying there, and you do that for like 15 minutes, go do something else, you do it again, over and over again. But for those of you who have back pain, my favorite book this week is a book called Back in Control by David Hanscom. That's not on my sheet here. David Hanscom, Hanscun. David Hanscom wrote a book about back in control. And it's not just about back pain, it's about any disease, because it talks about the mind-body connection of all these things, how to live healthy, all this kind of stuff, be pain-free. And it's not about being pain-free. It's all you know. When you wake up in the morning, you know you're going to hurt someplace. So, and one of my patients told me, if they're not hurting someplace, they think they're not alive. So yes, you're going to be hurting someplace. So it's not a matter of are you going to be in pain or aren't you going to be in pain. Yes, you're going to be in pain. The only question is where that day the pain's going to be. It's just like Dee Dee says, which kid's going to call her with their problems, you know? So it's not a matter of is somebody going to call me, and it's not a matter of are you going to be in pain, it's a matter of where's your pain going to be. And so it's about managing your pain. It's not about stopping pain, it's about managing pain. So we all manage our pain, we do what we need to do and everything else. So we do things like my son David and I used to every night do chin-ups every night. Now, finally, after years and years of this, my neck was hurting, my arms were hurting, my shoulders were hurting, so I had to let David be chin-up champion of the world, okay? But we still do other things together and everything else, so you have to manage the pain. It's not about stopping pain. One of the other things that I love about this cheat sheet is the article I read on energy. So all the time, patients come to me and say they're tired, they're this and that, and what am I going to do for them? You know, as if I'm going to wave my wand and cure them of their fatigue. So what the latest article said, this is a great article, they compared walking up and down stairs for 10 minutes to coffee, to soda, and energy drinks. So they compared, they gave different groups all these different things, and needless to say, I wouldn't be talking about this. What won out far and above was walking stairs. So say you're feeling tired, 10 minutes, go up and down the stairs. Not only are you going to have more energy that day, you're going to be able to concentrate better, pay attention better, stay awake better, you'll sleep better that night, and it'll help you in a number of different ways. So you're feeling tired, you're feeling down, you're feeling something else, go up and down stairs for 10 minutes, and that'll take care of your problem. Another amazing article I read said that's on here is, say you want to exercise, but you don't feel like exercising, going for walks, or you have somebody else who's not feeling like it, buy them a pedometer. People who had pedometers did 1,950 steps more than people who didn't have pedometers, so that's an amazing thing, to do. And for sleep, we see a lot of people whose real problems are not sleeping well. So sleep is a big part of all this stuff. And so yes, you want to sleep well. You want to have the room cool so you're not overheated. And if you live with Jane Pinsky, your room is very, very cool. And so there's icicles from the ceiling, everything else. But it doesn't have to be that cool. So I have my electric blanket on. Jane has the room cool. And so you want to have a cool room. You want to not be using your electronics before you go to bed, like an hour or two before. In other words, you don't want to be looking at your computer. You don't want to be watching TV. Maybe read, do something else before you go to bed. You want to be exercising that day, and you want to do two things that matter most are exercise, that helps you sleep better that day, and spending time outside. Spending time outside helps you sleep better. Then when you go to sleep, say you can't fall asleep within a couple of minutes, you want to breathe into 3, out to 6. So you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That does a couple things. It relaxes the muscles of the body, and it helps, and it takes your mind off of all the problems you've been worrying about during the day. So into 3, out to 6, helps you sleep better. Yes? Any questions? Yeah. And then for the other things I love is Tai Chi, yoga, all these things. So this was another amazing article that you might have heard about all this. By meditation, by doing Tai Chi, by doing yoga, doing all this stuff, they actually took MRIs of people's brains, and they found changes in the brains from meditation, Tai Chi, yoga, but also from being outdoors. In other words, being in the woods, being going to a lake, sitting by the water, whatever else. There's actually changes that happen in the brain that make it a little bit different and everything else that help people by doing these things. So if you're thinking you're too stressed and all that kind of stuff, try some Tai Chi, try some yoga, go to walk through the woods, whatever else, go to a park, and all those things are going to be good for you. The dehydration, that's another thing on my list here. That was another great article I read. Dehydration, they compared Pedialyte, which is expensive and what we've been using for the last whatever number of years for dehydration. They compared Pedialyte to half-strength apple juice. And needless to say, I wouldn't be telling you this, half-strength apple juice did much better than Pedialyte. It stayed down better for those of you, especially with little kids. They like it much better. Half-strength apple juice did better, stayed down better, kids got better, everybody else did better with half-strength apple juice than Pedialyte. So that was interesting. Yeah, John.
Would you discuss lifeline screening for blood clots?
Okay, so lifeline screening. So I go, question about lifeline screening. So I go up and back about lifeline screening. This is the thing you pay $40, $60, $100 for, depending on how many tests you have done. Is it worthwhile or isn't it worthwhile? Every other year, I think maybe it's worthwhile. Every other year, I think, no, it's a waste of money. Give your money to Polio Plus and save the world. And so I'm not sure it helps anybody. But I don't think it hurts anybody either. I think that stuff's okay. The things every once in a while there's a fad that comes around that you should have a CAT scan of your chest, your brain, or something else, and do that. The problem with the body scans, all that kind of stuff, of having those done, is that it's not that they don't find things, they'll find something. Then you decide, okay, they found something in your lung, they found something in your stomach, or they found, what are you going to do about it? And so then you got a question of, do they biopsy, do they this? So the harms comes in, not from having the scan, is when they find something, then you have to decide, okay, what are we going to do about this? And then they do harm by biopsy, and all these things don't mean anything to start with, and no, you're not dying of it, and so that's why it's not worthwhile getting a scan for something you're not sick from. Yes, go ahead.
I just had a question, Dr. Adelman. You know, diet soda, I've heard the comment before, it adds weight. What is the mechanism, since it's 0 calories, what is the mechanism in diet soda that makes you fat?
Well, thank you for bringing that up. That's one of my favorite subjects. Okay, so diet soda, diet anything. You go in the store, and there's all this stuff that says no calories, 0 calories, all this stuff. All that not only makes you fat, it makes you stupid too. Okay? And so it's a waste of money, waste of time. So the mechanism is that it makes you more hungry. All these things it change hormones in the body, everything else. It makes you more hungry. So you eat more, and you eat not only more, but you eat more sugary things, and that's what makes you stupid. Okay? So it makes you fat, it makes you stupid, and it's not good for you. So, say you do want to put something in to make water taste better, something else. What I love you putting in is fresh lemon, fresh lime. You slice up a lemon, slice up a lime, something like that. Put it in the water, put it in the refrigerator. That's fantastic for you. That makes you live longer. That makes you smarter. Okay? The other stuff makes you stupid. Yes?
I have a couple of things. One is, do you recommend a home remedy for gallstones?
Home remedy? No. I've never found anything really works for gallstones except for getting your gallbladder out. Now, does that mean everybody should have their gallbladder out if they have stones? Not necessarily. Only if it's bothering them and it's causing trouble, yes. If it's not bothering them, they just happen to find it when they're doing something else, no, leave it alone. But if it's bothering them, yes, you should have a gallbladder taken out. No, the home remedies, I've not found any success with.
And the other thing is, I work with a lot of people that have back problems and knee problems and hip replacements and things like that, and I'm teaching dance.
Right.
I'm starting a bungee workout dance class, which takes a lot of the pressure off of the joints.
Yeah.
And I'm just starting this, so I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on that. If you think that would be a good thing for
You just started what?
a bungee dance.
Bungee? Oh yeah, that's great. I love that. Dancing is fantastic. First of all, I'll put a plug for you here, and no charge. The dancing is fantastic. It builds up your rhythm, it builds up your endurance, it builds up your heart, it builds up your mind. Dancing is, the music's great for you, and especially if you have something like Parkinson's, something like that. Parkinson people who dance do better, recover better, less medication, everything else. So dancing's fantastic for you.
But this bungee thing is going to be something.
Yeah. Okay, now let me talk about joint pain. So my favorites for joint pain is, I love that. So it's favorites for joint pain for people who the other stuff's not working is fish oil. Fish oil, but you have to take a lot of fish oil. Fish oil, what I tell people, start with 2 twice a day, which is 4,000 milligrams a day. And it's real cheap. You go to BJ, Sam's, Costco, wherever, and fish oil is real cheap. You go all the way up to 8,000 milligrams a day, which is 4 of them twice a day. So fish oil is great for you. You can take some glucosamine, you can take Tylenol, 2 of them, 3 times a day if you need to above that. But fish oil is my favorite. Yeah.
So you talked about love.
Yes.
So could you please tell your church lady story? And on behalf of all the women in this room, could you talk about men over 50 and hearing loss and how it alienates them from the world? Thank you. So hearing's important, that's good. And what's my church? About the ladies who go to church and how they live longer than the ladies.
Oh yeah, so what does it better than anything else, as I said, being in groups like Rotary, like Chris was talking, has magic, but my favorite study with all this was black women in the South who go to church live 7 years longer than black women in the South who don't go to church. Now this is amazing. In other words, if you cure all cancer in the United States, people live a year or 2 longer. You cure all heart disease in the United States, people live a couple of years longer. Nothing goes 7 years longer. So the black women going to church, they're going to church, and I'm not really convinced that it could be if they're both every once a week, but I'm not sure. But I think church is great. I think that getting out's great. Being with people is great. So this is a huge thing. Being socializing, being groups like Rotary, going to church, all these things are fantastic. Yeah, one more question.
So, I noticed that light don't sex, and it says here that you could increase testosterone levels by 70%. Is there a particular weight you recommend?
Okay, so the answer is yes. So what you can do, first of all, for those who have problems with sex, which I'm sure is none of you, have problems with sex, is this, there was amazing study. So what they recommend is you go on Amazon or wherever you want to go, and you can buy a light box. So while you're eating breakfast, you sit with this while you're eating your cereal or whatever, you shine the light on yourself, and it helps with your sex life, and it helps other things too. Seasonal affective disorder, it cures that. It cures, even people who were depressed that didn't have seasonal affective disorder, it cured depression in them. So it's amazing for your mind, for your mood. It's an amazing thing for your sex life. Now, what I like the best for your sex life, and I'll finish with sex here, that's on a high point. What I like best for sex is a story I told you about I think a year or 2 ago, it was in one of my journals, that 1 apple a day helped people with their sex life, helps their desire, helps their performance, helps everything else. 2 apples a day did even better. So let me leave it with apples. I'll end with apples there. If you have more questions, feel free to ask.